Gerald.
I am Rhea.
Gian!
And we are the Wandering Explorers. Hey guys, let's go and explore Alcatraz. You can find the ferry to go to Alcatraz Island on Pier 33. It is a 15-minute ferry ride. You can buy your tickets online on www.alcatrazcitycruises.com or you can call 415-981-ROCK or in person at Pier 33. See you later. You can stay at the island as long as you want, allot at least 3 to 4 hours to explore the island. Arrive 45 minutes before your scheduled time at Pier 33 for check-in. Coming from Pier 33, San Francisco, going to
Alcatraz,
Alcatraz,
the most infamous island in the world. We invite you to explore its multi-layered history. You'll walk in the footsteps of America's most dangerous criminals and the men who guarded them. Hear their voices and experience their daily lives when you tour the federal penitentiary. Although it's known as The Rock, you'll be amazed at the island's natural beauty. Discover the secrets of its historic gardens. And keep an eye out for abundant bird life. But also, be on the lookout for the remains of a Civil War fort. A 19th century stronghold that protected San Francisco Bay from potential invaders.
Oh my gosh.
And even after the notorious penitentiary closed, Alcatraz continued to make history. In 1969, in a bid for political recognition, American Indians claimed Alcatraz. Locate the signs of their occupation. Alcatraz. It's so much more than just a prison.
Alcatraz, or the Rock, is a small island in San Francisco Bay. It was developed in the mid-19th century with facilities like lighthouse, military fortification, and a military prison. So, in 1934, it was converted into a federal penitentiary and became one of the most notorious prisons in American history. It was closed in 1963 because it was very expensive to maintain. Today, it became a major tourist attraction in the Bay Area.
Here we have Martini of Indian power, Indian rule. This was referring to an incident that started in 1969, continued 19 months, and it was very instrumental. And I'm going to tell you where you can find this exhibit, which I recommend, as well as some others. How many people know what the name Alcatraz means? All right, it was named Spanish Alcatraces, and it means pelican or large seabirds. And so we used to have a lot of brown pelicans here. So we're going to tell you about the birds that are on that island today. We have an opportunity for rare bird sightings.
In November of 1969, the island was occupied for 19 months by a group of 78 Native Americans who called themselves Indians of all tribes. In 1972, it became part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, and it was designated as a National Historic Landmark in 1986. You can reach the main person exhibit uphill. You can walk up or ride the tram, but it is exclusive for seniors plus one companion. No kids allowed on the tram. As you walk up and around the island, you can see beautiful flowers, ornamental gardens, and birds flying around. The island is a bird sanctuary.
Shower.
United States Penitentiary, Alcatraz, California. Well, my name is George DeVincenzi. I used to play checkers with Robert Stroud. I don't think I ever did.
I asked whether they hired blacks out there. You know how it was in the 50s. Continue to the next photo. These are some of the prisoners whose voices you hear. My name is Leon Whitey Thompson. My number was 1465. I was a man that had total hatred of Indians. I hated anything. Sorry. I was a man that inside you could hurt.
Guided tour. Yeah, you're inside Alcatraz. It's a prison. Yeah, this is where they keep the bad guys. Long time ago.
Yes, there's a lot of bathrooms.
Oh,
cutoff. You pull this down and up and the cell's open. Re-engage, pull down and up and the cell's close. Then you're done. You can close this, lock it, and give the key back to the guard. And they did that every day for... Thank you. So again, you wouldn't carry this key on you. It was kept with the gun galley guard. The guard up there had a pistol and all the keys. He would lower the key on a rope. I could say that.
The most famous inmate in Alcatraz are Robert Stroud, also known as the Birdman of Alcatraz, Al Capone, and Machine Gun Kelly, to name a few.
Alcatraz is a military prison from 1859 until 1933 and became a federal penitentiary from 1934 until 1963. The lighthouse in the island is the oldest operating lighthouse on the west coast of the United States. The Warden House, built in 1920s, it was originally the home of military prison commandant James A. Johnston. On 1970, fire engulfed the house, leaving the shell a ruin we see today.
The cell houses a maximum occupancy of 302, but the average number of prisoners was 260. Among the 14 attempts On June 11, 1962, Frank Morris and the brothers Clarence and John Anglin tried to escape Alcatraz. They climbed to the roof and made a flotation device with raincoat. The three were never recovered but was considered dead. There are 14 attempted federal prison escapes. All are caught or didn't survive due to the cold water and strong current.
So where did they incarcerated Al Capone?
It's right there, 181.
181.
Second tier, yeah.
Thank you. Al Capone's prison. Does it work?
It's a trolley. It's a cable car.
These islands have previous now 25 years. They wanted to keep California as part of the United States territory. So they put military bases out here. Alcatraz became a fortress. And with the fortress, you have officers, you have high society, well-off, men and women who are living out on this island. Those women, of course, had high society friends over in San Francisco. They had nice tea gardens. Those women's officers' wives out here wanted pretty tea gardens as well. So they actually had soldiers take soil from Angel Island, bring it out here to Alcatraz, and they began planting gardens in the 1850s. That gardening tradition continued, military prison, or military fortress, military prison, and up to the penitentiary era. Several of the men incarcerated out here actually worked in various gardens throughout the island, including near the Wardens House. And we continue that gardening tradition largely through the work of our partnership with our nonprofit, the Parks Conservancy, to this day. So we kind of, again, maintain the gardens as part of that larger history of gardening out here on this island that dates back to the 1850s. Yeah.
So I saw in one of the pictures that the Warden's house ended up catching fire.
Yes.
Do they know what from or what happened
So
there?
it burned down Warden's house as well as the Officers Club lower down the island in 1870. This was the middle of the Indian occupation when Native Americans took over the island for 19 months as a form of social protest. Now, as to who exactly started the fire is still a fiercely debated thing. Occupiers were out here for over a year at that point. No fires had gotten out of control, no buildings burnt down. They were actually living in the Warden's house, many of them at the time. They maintained they didn't have any intention to burn down buildings. They maintained many occupiers. I've talked to several of them. The government volunteers, government agents came out here under the cover of darkness and lit those fires overnight to basically put an end to their occupation, to make them look bad, give them an excuse to basically remove them from the island. Government said they had nothing to do with it. Honestly, at that point of the occupation, other folks could have easily made their way out there in the middle of the night. Security wasn't the tightest at that point. So exactly who started those fires is still a mystery to this day. We do know that the Wardens House Officers Club both burned down, different parts of the island in very short fashion, right after one after another. So more than likely pointing to arson as opposed to accident, but really tough to say who was at cause.
is a cannon. Can you see?
There's a cannon.
Yeah. Even older than the prison.
Yeah. This is a cannon. You can
Yeah.
put cannon balls.
Yep. So it's in 1866.
Yeah, this is a cannon.
Alcatraz sole role was to protect San Francisco and the army.
Yeah, San Francisco cannon.
Yeah.
You can put cannon balls throw to the outside. Oh look, there's Mommy and Loner.
Yeah, there's the other side, of course.
Mommy, hi! Hi! They're back again.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just
Hey.
I've been losing sleep, what to do.